What's up, guys and girls? Hope you guys are doing just fantastic. Here we are walking up $8,300 trading PIK, stock from last week as well, and also NRSN. Now, today was a bit of a surprise on how big of a green day it ended up becoming, because I originally started to trade. Let me clear this drawing set for you guys. I originally started trading PIK right out of the gates today, which proved to be okay, but it sold off really fast. Okay, and I kept trying to trade it even down into this area, even down into here. I didn't even know that there was anything else worth trading. But at my highs, I was up $3,700 on this. Gave some back, like I said, trading down in this area, thinking we would get a short squeeze or at least a tap of VWAP. Never really could get going. We had an attempt here. We had an attempt here. Oh, you little bugger. You little bugger. We had an attempt here. Let's see, am I able to do... What is this? Let's try some new stuff today. We had an attempt here. We had an attempt here. Both cases didn't really work. Now, I did get in down here off this bottoming tail. And I do believe I caught a little bit something here, but I think I may have gave it back here. So the point is, I was up $3,700. Now I forgot. Now I don't even remember. But it was $3,400 to $3,700. Gave some back. Actually, I do believe it was $3,700, $3,800. And you know what? I was about to shut down. But someone called out in the Discord. And if you haven't joined the Discord yet, please, I mean, I guess you don't have to join it. But if you're serious about day trading, if you want to do what I'm doing, you really need to join our Discord. There's not a whole lot of people in there, so don't worry. You don't need to be shy. Just come in, join, because we call out stocks. And the only reason why I went to is it NRSN? The only reason why I found the stock was because someone called it out in the Discord. And the reason why I didn't see it was because I had my other trading platform, Lightspeed, covering my scanner. So I didn't see that this was hitting the scanner. I didn't know that this stock was even trading. I didn't even see it on the scanner. So luckily someone called it out. I pulled it up and I got in for a 1 minute pullback. I'll show you where the best trade was on it. No, I want to go to this. Yep, that's exactly it. I got in on this pullback. It was halted up in this area. Came out of the halt, dropped down after some bit, and I was watching it. And it came up pretty fast on this next green what was a red candle, I should say, because you have this red candle, and then you have the other red candle for the 2-bar pullback, breaks to the low here, but then it gets bought up really fast. And by the time I saw it, it was up at like 564, and it came up with a lot of velocity, a lot of speed, and that's when I sort of knew that we had a good shot at breaking the pivot at 615 and continuing higher. So I loaded up with 7,500 shares around, let's just say 570 was probably where I started eyeballing it. Could have been a little less or a little more. From 570, 7,500 shares to the break of 614. So I got about 30, 40, 50 cents at least on 7,500 shares. And that's where I went from up $2,600 in the day, right? Because I originally was only trading PIK. I went from up just $2,600, and then I added another, what's half of 7,500? I made 50 cents on 7,500. That would be $3,250. So I made roughly $3,000 in this trade right here, a little over $3,000 just in one trade. And then from there, I think I just started scalping with maybe 2,200 shares, catching nice pops. Because when this thing moved, I mean, you get in here at 580 and you're selling at 662, and this is happening in seconds. It's very quick to make $600. And I wasn't getting in really with 7,500 shares ever again. I started to lower my share size to 4,500 max, just because I had such a nice trade here and I knew this thing was risky. And look at this. This was probably the nastiest flush of the day. It comes up here to 670 and immediately flashes down to 527. And this is immediately super fast. Luckily, I marketed out. I remember selling at like 663, and I marketed out because I had 2,200 shares around like 610 when I saw this bottoming tail and I saw it start going green here. I was in around 610 to 6, so about 50 cents on 2,200 shares. That's what's half of 2,200, 1,100. So I don't know if I made exactly $1,100 here, but I did make close to probably $1,000. Marketed out of that position. Luckily, right before the flush, because right after I sold at just the perfect time, which was the break of this pivot here at 650. I sold, and the pivot up at 670. It broke the pivot right at 670. It looked like we were going to possibly go to high day, but I wasn't risking it. I had such a nice win on it already. that I just marketed out, locked in that money, and then this thing flushed hard. And that kind of ended my interest in the stock. It did drop here, gave an extended consolidation period on the 1 minute, but as you can see, it just got a little bit more unstable. A lot of just chop, 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 chop. Now you could have held through it for the break of the pivot up here at 676, which did end up happening, but it didn't break high day, which I think I took one last trade right up here. Didn't work out, lost a little bit because I was expecting it to break 718. Now it did consolidate for a while, and it looked like it was maybe going to die off. But I was telling people in the Discord that this thing had potential to break out. Now, sure enough, it did. Now, why can't I? What? Okay, what the world? Let's go in here and play with the settings. So if you ever have issues with your charts, you got to go in here and make sure you have these settings in right. So you can see my original drawing here. We had consolidation here. I marked it out. Turns out this was not exactly what was consolidating, meaning my trend line was a little off. It was more like that. Remove this, right click, extend to right, extend to left, or extend to right. Let's get rid of this. So we had this consolidation here, kind of like the triangle pattern. And I knew that there was potential that this thing would break this trend line and rip. Sure enough, it did do that. Almost on my other drawing that I did on my other charting platform, it almost was exactly how I had anticipated it. It wasn't exactly, but it was pretty dang close. I even marked out a little pullback here, and it ended up being pretty much exactly on. So I knew there was potential for that to happen. I honestly, but after this big flush here, I had about over $8,000, almost $9,000 at one point. I was like, do I really want to risk it on a big mega flush? Because I didn't know if we were going to break this and then flush hard. Because I mean, that's happened plenty of times in my career doing this. So I was like, is it really worth the risk? I was like, maybe if I went in small size, but still, yeah, it was like, man, this is already an $8,000 day. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it to be an $8,000 day. So I ended up shutting down kind of, I'll mark it out, in this area here. I traded up to here, traded up here thinking we'd break. It didn't break. It just got super choppy here. And I stopped trading in this area, but I was watching it because I kept telling people, I was like, this thing, I just had that gut feeling that this thing had the potential to do exactly what it did, which was break the high a day. Broke high day at 717, even went up a whole another dollar, almost exactly another dollar to 818. Had I bet in with 7,500 shares here for a $2 move, that's $15,000. That's $15,000 in about 10 minutes. Now, that's a shoulda, woulda, coulda, and you can play the shoulda, woulda, coulda game all day long. But the reality is, you take what you can get and you get out as fast as possible. Because the longer you're in here messing around, the higher chance you'll get stuck in a nasty flush like this, or a flush like this. And if you're in with 2,500 shares or 7,500 shares, even 2,500 shares, even 1,000 shares on this, if you had 1,000 shares from 736 down to 637, that's almost $1. That's $1,000. It's $1,000 you could lose if you hadn't sold within 1, 2, 3 minutes. If you would have held the stock for 3 minutes, you were up here, you would have lost $1,000. So, the longer you're in the market, the more risk you're exposed to. And as the day gets on, volume dies off, like I've said in every other video. So, do I feel bad about missing this move here? Kinda, but in reality, I didn't really want to sit around for it because there were so many false starts down here. There's so many like, oh, it's about to go, and then it flushes. Oh, it's about to go, then it flushes. Now, up in this area probably would have been a good area to think about getting in, because we were consolidating. We were consolidating right below support here. Let me draw this out. We were consolidating right below support. So this I can understand, and if I was on, I probably would have taken it. But then again, you're running the risk of being stuck in a flush, because who's to say that it wouldn't have gone up to 640 and then done an immediate $1 flush on you? Just so happened that it didn't. Kept holding, put a nice 1 minute pullback here, ripped through high a day. That was probably one of the cleanest trades right here. Did I take it? No, but I was watching it. I saw the potential. I was looking on my phone, so I couldn't even have taken it. But that would have been another great trade from 680 up through 720 or 715. So that would have been a 30, 40, 50 cent win. And if you had held for a bigger move, you would have got more. But I don't want to play the shoulda, woulda, coulda game all day. I did make over $8,000. My high was 8,700, so I'm not at my highs, but still pretty close. And tomorrow I'm going to take it real slow because Tuesdays this month have been historically really slow. And I don't want to squander the win I had today. So that's the name of the game. Make what you can, get out, slow down. When the market slows down, have small red days. Keep your red days small. And that's sort of the name of the game. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. So I think that does it for me. And I will catch you on the next one. Peace.